Question 1. Who set up the first European settlement in Australia? A. Captain William Bligh, B. Captain James Cook, C. Captain Arthur Phillip. Correct answer, C. Captain Arthur Phillip. Captain Arthur Phillip was the British naval officer who led the First Fleet and established the first European settlement in Australia at Sydney Cove in 1788. He became the first governor of New South Wales. Question 2. What is the official national anthem of Australia? A. God Save the Queen, B. Advance Australia Fair, C. Waltzing Matilda. Correct answer, B. Advance Australia Fair. Advance Australia Fair is the official national anthem of Australia. It was adopted in 1984 and is played at national events and official ceremonies to represent Australia and its people. Question 3. What is the name of the group of stars shown on the Australian flag? A. The Southern Cross, B. The Golden Wattle, C. The 12 Apostles. Correct answer, A. The Southern Cross. The Southern Cross is a group of stars visible in the southern sky and is a major symbol on the Australian flag. It represents Australia's geographical location in the Southern Hemisphere and is an important national symbol. Question 4. Who were the first inhabitants of Australia? A. The French, B. The British and Irish settlers, C. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Correct answer, C. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are the first inhabitants of Australia. They have lived on the Australian continent for tens of thousands of years and have rich cultures, languages and traditions that continue today. Question 5. What does the Australian value of a fair go mean? A. A person's success depends on their abilities, hard work and effort. B. A person's success depends on their past education. C. A person's success depends on their social connections. Correct answer, A. A person's success depends on their abilities, hard work and effort. The Australian value of a fair go means that everyone should have an equal opportunity to succeed. What a person achieves in life should be based on their talent, hard work and effort, not on their background, education history or social connections. Question 6. Which type of government does Australia have? A. Referendum, B. Dictatorship, C. Parliamentary democracy. Correct answer, C. Parliamentary democracy. Australia is a parliamentary democracy, which means that citizens elect representatives to the parliament. The political party or coalition that holds the majority of seats in parliament forms the government. The Prime Minister is chosen from among the elected members of Parliament and must maintain the support of Parliament to remain in office. Question 7. Which statement about the gold rush in Australia is not true? A. The gold rush began in 1851. B. In 10 years, Australia's population reduced by half. C. Chinese people were the first non-European migrants to arrive in Australia. Correct answer, B. In 10 years, Australia's population reduced by half. During the gold rush, Australia's population increased rapidly, not decreased. The discovery of gold in 1851 attracted many migrants from around the world, leading to significant population growth. Question 8. The Prime Minister announces the Australian of the Year Awards on which public holiday? A. New Year's Day, B. Australia Day, C. Anzac Day. Correct answer B. Australia Day. The Australian of the Year Awards are announced by the Prime Minister on Australia Day, which is celebrated on the 26th of January each year. The awards recognise Australians who have made outstanding contributions to the community and the nation. Question 9. What is an important reason for people in Australia to learn English? A. Only native English speakers can become Australian citizens. B. English is the only language spoken in Australian communities. C. Speaking English helps people get an education and find a job. Correct answer C. Speaking English helps people get an education and find a job. Learning English is important in Australia because it helps people study, find employment, and participate fully in the community. English is the main language used in workplaces, education, and government services, so speaking it improves communication and opportunities. Question 10. What are the colours of the Australian Aboriginal flag? A. Black, red and yellow. B. Blue, white and red. C. Green, blue, black and white. Correct answer A. Black, red and yellow. The Australian Aboriginal flag has 3 colours: black, red and yellow. Black represents the Aboriginal people, red represents the earth and the spiritual relationship to the land. Yellow represents the sun, the giver of life. Question 11. Who is eligible to apply for jobs in the Australian Public Service or the Australian Defence Force? A. Australian citizens. B. People who are permanent residents of Australia. C. Migrants who have lived in Australia for more than 10 years. Correct answer A. Australian citizens. Jobs in the Australian Public Service and the Australian Defence Force generally require applicants to be Australian citizens. This is because these roles involve national security, public trust, and serving the Australian government. Question 12. Which statement about volunteering in Australia is correct? A. It is required by law. B. It pays the minimum wage. C. It is an example of actively participating in society. Correct answer C. It is an example of actively participating in society. Volunteering in Australia means giving your time and skills freely to help others or the community. It is a way of actively participating in society, strengthening communities, and supporting people or causes without receiving payment. Question 13. When is an Australian citizen allowed to seek election to Parliament? A. They are not dual citizens. B. They are aged 18 years or over. C. Both of the above. Correct answer C. Both of the above. An Australian citizen can seek election to Parliament if they are at least 18 years old and do not hold dual citizenship. These requirements help ensure that members of Parliament meet legal eligibility rules and have sole allegiance to Australia. Question 14. Which statement about rights under Australian law is correct? A. Men and women have equal rights. B. Men have more rights than women. C. Women have more rights than men. Correct answer A. Men and women have equal rights. Under Australian law, men and women are equal before the law. Both have the same legal rights and responsibilities, and discrimination based on gender is not allowed. Equality between men and women is a fundamental value of Australian society. Question 15. What is it called when people express their ideas through art, film, music, and literature? A. Freedom of expression. B. Freedom of religion. C. Freedom of association. Correct answer A. Freedom of expression. Freedom of expression means that people are allowed to share their ideas, opinions, and creativity in many forms, including art, film, music, and literature. This freedom allows individuals to express themselves creatively and culturally without unfair restriction. Question 16. The Commonwealth coat of arms features which two animals? A. The kangaroo and the koala. B. The kangaroo and the echidna. C. The kangaroo and the emu. Correct answer C. The kangaroo and the emu. The Commonwealth coat of arms of Australia features the kangaroo and the emu. These animals were chosen because they are native to Australia and are often said to symbolise progress, as they do not easily move backwards. Question 17. Which of the following statements about paying tax in Australia is correct? A. It helps support and contribute to the Australian community. B. It is required by law. C. Both of the above. Correct answer C. Both of the above. Paying tax in Australia is required by law and also helps support the Australian community. Taxes fund important public services such as healthcare, education, roads, and public safety, which benefit everyone in society. Question 18. What happens if a religious practice conflicts with Australian law? A. Australian law takes precedence. B. Some groups in the community are not required to follow the law. C. Members of Parliament must seek advice from local religious leaders. Correct answer A. Australian law takes precedence. In Australia, the rule of law applies to everyone equally. If a religious practice conflicts with Australian law, the law must be followed. This ensures fairness, safety, and equality for all people, regardless of their beliefs. Question 19. What are Australian citizens aged 18 and over legally required to do? A. Vote in Australian elections. B. Take part in local council meetings. C. Enlist in the Australian Defence Force. Correct answer A. Vote in Australian elections. In Australia, voting is compulsory for citizens aged 18 and over. This law ensures that everyone takes part in the democratic process and helps elect representatives fairly. Failing to vote without a valid reason can result in a fine. Question 20. Which type of freedom allows people to join a trade union? A. Freedom of religion. B. Freedom of association. C. Freedom of movement. Correct answer B. Freedom of association. Freedom of association means that people have the right to join or form groups, organisations, or unions, including trade unions. This freedom allows individuals to come together to protect their interests, especially in the workplace. Thank you for watching. How many questions did you pass? Don't forget to like, subscribe for me. Bye.